Hi there, it's Scrappy Kathy here, and welcome to, it's the hop to celebrate my 1,500 subbies, so you guys, and there are 1,600 and some odd of you now, so I appreciate you all and thank you very, very much. It's also challenge accepted Thursday, because that's kind of how Shannon and I roll. And we're doing Christie's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And this is the sketch today. It's a 2-page sketch. I'm going to do this side, except I'm going to extend it to something like this by making my photos smaller. So we'll see that in a minute. It is also Punched Out Thursdays to die for. So I have lots of punched and die cut elements that I'm going to be adding for Calvinball points. And there's going to be a lot of stamping, and there are 4 photos, 3 of which are black and white. But the very first thing I'm going to do for this little area right here, I'm going to do something of, I'm going to use a stencil of some kind. I thought I might use these circles, but I'm not quite sure where things are going to end up. So I'm going to put that one aside, and I'm going to do this one and hope that I'm going to maybe run it off the page a bit. And I'll hope that when I pile things on, it doesn't completely cover up the stencil. And they've just added a purple rule in Calvinball, so I'm going to use that as an excuse to put all kinds of purple things on my page, including I'm going to use wilted violet through my stencil. And I'm not going to be perfect with it, because like I said, I actually kind of think a lot of it's going to get covered up. But you and I will know I used it and that I deserve whatever point is given for it. So there. And of course I kind of went off the edges a little bit. You're used to seeing me go off the rails, right? So I'm going to put that aside. And now, let's see. I have these photos, and they're not great photos, which is why I haven't scrapped them before. This kind of tells the story of putting together Allie's birthday cake back in 2010. I had just had and was recovering from, and still on crutches from, my knee replacement surgery. And I guess this foam is a little thicker. This color is a little thicker than this one. They came from the same batch. So I'm going to put those there, and then I have a tag that's going to go here, and these little things that are sticking up above there are going to end up being Calvinball points, of course, and there's going to be Flair all around. I'm going to spread these out so that I can maybe overlap some Calvinball points. Now, this one is printed at a little bit bigger size than this one, and I kind of wanted to emphasize it, so I'll find a way to do that, maybe with something like that. I'll do that, which kind of adds in that color green, and it's gonna also add, it's gonna match up with some colors of Vicki Boutin stuff that I'm gonna use elsewhere. So that will be where I what determines my spacing. And I'm going to put that kind of right there. And what that says is we've got, well, whoops, I did them out of order. I have the layers cooling and then the John rolling the fondant. I was not able to get the pressure needed while I was on crutches to roll the fondant. So John rolled it. and if you've heard me talk about John's handiness in the kitchen, it was non-existent. And so he was so proud of himself, though, for having helped with that. And he rolled all the fondant for all 3 of those layers that are in that cake. And for all of the, he rolled all the different colors and helped me cut out all those shapes, the little stars and flowers and circles inside of circles. And this was all for Allie's 9th birthday. And we did a lot of the work, this work, these 3 pictures, that work was done at our house in Jackson. And James and the family were living in Norcross, which was 60 miles away. And so we piled all that stuff in the car and took it to their house. While they were out, they took the kids out bowling so we could do it in secret. And they did, and we put it together and just barely had it done by the time they got home from bowling. So I have this tag that says love this, and I've done this journaling that's gonna go on there, and I'll find a, I've got this piece of flair. I know I have a piece of flair. There's a new rule for a diamond shape, and this piece of flair has diamond shapes on it. Oh no, 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 no. If I can't get this up without tearing that, I will retype the journaling and redo this. And that is going to be the case. I'm going to have to do that. So I'm just going to kind of, what a mess. Sorry about that. And here I've got this stuck too. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to put this on, but kind of up so that that can fit under when I do it. Okay. Sorry about that. And I'm just going to leave that there just as a, so that we can get an idea of the what it's going to look like. Okay. Now, I'm going to do some stamping just to get the stamps off of my my page. And I've got a, let's see, here's my stamp pad. That's so disappointing. Now I have to, okay, this is a Viewmaster, which has just been added. And I'm gonna kind of lift that up and stamp it so that it's just sticking out right there. And I'm going to do something similar with the sloth. And I'm going to put it kind of above this guy. Oh, good. He's just peeking above there. And That's good. And I'm gonna put that off to the side in my stamping tray. Now here I have a film strip, which I'm going to stamp right beside this tag. And I'm sounding like I know exactly where things are going to go, and I have no idea. None whatsoever. So let's do it that way. Oh, of course, the outside part that shows is the part that I didn't do right. And that's messed up. Okay, not a problem. I don't care. I can do some other embellishing over there, and you can still see that it's a film strip, right? I'll put that there, and we'll have fun covering that up. Okay, I'm going to put that in the tray. I'm going to do these. Why don't I do these hexagons right there? That's okay. I'm going to put that in the tray. Now I'm going to do a gnome and a little mushroom house. And I maybe am going to do the gnome kind of up in here and create a little scene up there. You know me, how I like to make a scene. Okay, so let's do this. Like right there. And put that aside. Stamp this. Right there. And that counts as a mushroom and a house. Okay, now let's see. We'll put this back for the umpteenth time. And of course, the ribbon is gonna somewhat obscure that. So I'm gonna cut it down a bit. Okay, there. It's not nearly as cute that way, but it shows the little stuff there. I don't know how many times this guy is going to get taken off and put back on. I'll put that back. Okay, now to get some of the larger elements, I've got my layered butterfly sticker here, and I'm going to put it kind of right there, kind of covering up where the stamping didn't work right there. Oh, not that the stamping didn't work right. The stamper didn't work right. Let's see. I have a die cut mixer, and the mixer was used in creating those cakes, those cake layers. So I'm going to put it on that on that photo. And I have another die cut. I use that on gold to get the gold point. And here is a rolling pin that, let's see, I like the placement of that. There's not a really good place to put this other than I can cover up his arm there because you can see his cute little fingers. Let's see. We'll go there. Okay, those are good. Now, I have random things that make no sense at all. In the original, there are some kind of circle-y bits all around, and I'm going to use hexagons instead. I did do the half circle down at the bottom, and it was meant for journaling, but I had this pattern paper that had the banners on it, and I kind of liked that. I stitched on that with my sewing machine. So I'm going to put it kind of right down here in the corner. And when I die cut it, it wasn't quite wide enough. So I've got an opportunity here for some other embellishing. Let me pull this down. I have a purple arrow that might be kind of cool right there. And I only needed one purple thing, but I'm using a bunch because, you know, it's purple. Here is a piece I intended to use because it had hexagons on it, but I've already stamped some hexagons, so I'm going to keep that for a different layout. This was just a scrap piece that I had that had dots on it, but I have dots on this, so I don't need that. So I'm going to do some hexagons, and I'm going to kind of space them about I'll do that one there. Just kind of randomly about the page, not with any particular idea in mind, but they're going to be nice beds for let me do this one that's going to be over. They're going to be nice beds for Flair, is what I was thinking. Actually, I am going to do this one this way. And I'll do this one just flat under here so that that flower is showing. That's going to be one of, I have to have 10 flowers showing. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 showing in the photo, 5 here, and I'm going to have to add 5 more in some form or another. So I've got this doily bit that I thought maybe could work into the group of photos. When I did that, when I stamped that down. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there because there will be an embellishment right there that'll hold that down. I have a frame that I was thinking might go on this guy. And so I'm going to put it there. I just want to, you know, not only did I print it in color, but I kind of wanted to highlight it with this frame. And the frame is wood grain, so I get the wood grain point and the frame point, and it happens to fit the photo, which, and I don't usually do that. I don't usually put frames on photos. I usually pile photos on top of frames and do them all wonky, but this is kind of fun. I have a catacorn that I thought could maybe go right here. I'm going to build a cluster here because when I glued that frame on, I glued it on a little bit crooked. It looks parallel here. It's not parallel here. So I'm going to pile some things around and create an optical delusion just for fun, right? And to cover up my mistake, which is always fun to do. Let's see. I have a button here that is yellow and it has a little blue star on it. So that's my yellow and blue being used together. And I'm going to put it maybe right there. No, I don't like it. Okay, let's see. Maybe right here, just kind of up as an element right there. Now I have a hot air balloon, and it's made out of kind of clear-ish vellum. So what I'm going to do is put some foam under this hexagon. I need to get that off of here. I need to have my grid paper is going to be here too. Let's see. I'm doing that one there, and maybe this one here, kind of off the page, and then this one here. Maybe that one should be a little bit off the page, and this one here, and then this one here, kind of down. Okay, I'm gonna do it that way, but in any case, the yellow one is gonna have the hot air balloon, so I need to put some foam behind it to prop it up. Okay, and then I'll put a little bit of adhesive here in a few places. And I put the adhesive on the wrong side. It doesn't matter, except I'll know. I think you might not have been able to see it, but I could. Let me do it this way. And it's trying to come up because there's adhesive on both sides. Okay, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bend it back. I'm gonna put adhesive on the basket and also in a couple places right at the center up at the top. And then kind of smoosh it around and then press that down and burnish it with my tweezers. Okay, there. That's good. And there are some tiny little white clouds that got cut out from that same die. That die is from Rosie's studio, and it's just the cutest thing. And I don't know why it's kind of been sitting there and I haven't used it. So even cut in white in this clear vellum, the clouds kind of show up on that white cardstock. I love that. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this one flat down on the paper there. And then I'm gonna put this one flat down as well. And it sticks up ever so such a tiny amount. I'm okay with that. And I'm going to add a sliver of a cut file. I cut some leaves off of it, I think. It's an acorn, and I'm going to explain the relevance to that. In the middle of, it was a warm enough day that we had hoped to do some swimming. So we turned the heater on in the swimming pool in the back. And John had, before he rolled out that fondant, he had spent about 2.5 hours cleaning acorns out because it was acorn season. Usually you don't have acorn season and swimming season at the same time, but it was an unseasonably warm day, and we had acorns. I'm gonna kind of slide this. This is a little goofy thing I made. Let's see. Cutting out a circle and then topping it with an epoxy thing that I had for something called an epiphany system. I've long ago gotten rid of the epiphany system, but I still had the epoxy stuff. I'm just gonna kind of scooch it in maybe right there. That gets me the rainbow point. I'm not very good at attaching the epoxy without the epiphany system. So, and here is an alligator because it was about Allie's birthday. And I'm gonna put this right here because there's kind of an ugly doorknob there. Okay, and I have this coffee cup that I'm going to add maybe right here, and then I will do something fun. My tropical foliage and flowers and my washi tape are coming from this, and I'm just going to kind of set it right in around that flare so that it still looks kind of cute. I have a lime green airplane that maybe could go right here. I'm going to put a little foam behind it. I'm kind of running down into things. I have a rub-on to apply, and it's going to be fairly simple in that I have there's a heart there, but I have to figure out where to put my hedgehog. Here we can go with that on top of the doily. I have my black die-cut hedgehog that I've tried to use on a few other pages, but I think I am going to use him on this one. Maybe like right here. I'll bridge across those photos and kind of put the little guy here. That's cute. And what I thought I might do is we have to doodle, so maybe I thought I'd doodle on the hedgehog. And so I'm going to doodle with a white pen right in those grooves that are embossed there. And his little ear right there. And I'm going to give a few eyelashes to him. Okay, now, and I also wanted to add like some white edging on these hexagons. And again, I didn't need the hexagon shape because I have those stamped hexagons, but I had already, well, let's just say this. I had the punch on my desk, and I've used so many circles recently, I decided I'd like to use just a little collection of hexagons. Yes, I've used hexagons recently too, but I kind of covered them up. Okay, now I've got a tiny little sticker of a penguin reading books, and I'm going to put it here because penguins equal John. And I have a Mickey ear, mouse ears here. Where should I put those? Maybe right under there. Might work. Okay. And I have a coupon ticket kind of thing. I'm going to squinch down right here next to that green paper, and then I can do some other embellishing around it. I don't need the dog. I have one. This is, actually, I'm going to use this rub-on, which is a house, and I'm going to put it see, I selected things in a separate process from actually getting ready to film, and I forgot some of the things I selected. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there and then try to rub it on. Let me get it somewhat straight. Okay. And I think I don't have the backing on there. If I do, the image is not going to come off. This is from an old basic gray Christmas rub-on book. And I've used a few back when snowflakes were one of the rules. I used some snowflakes from there. But it had this little ski chalet, and while our house was not a ski chalet, it was a little bit, it was a little cottage. This kind of looked enough. It was a cute house, and this is a cute house, so I'm thinking it works. And that didn't come out perfect, but that's okay because it's Scrappy Kathy and nothing's perfect. Not even close. Okay, now I'm gonna start adding, I wanna add this puffy camera that gets me the camera point and the puffy sticker point. And I'm gonna plop it right there. I have a purple heart that was sent to me by Gwen Towell, who sends me all her purple things. And I thought it might look cute right up there with the orange and the green. Kind of a little bit of high contrast. I need a wood veneer piece. And I've already got one on there, I think. Yes, I have that, so I don't need that. I need a bee. So I have this BrambleFox bee, and it's kind of cute. We had bees around the pool, and I was stung more than once. I've got to be careful here because, let's see, I could do that. There's nothing here. Let's do it here. And then I'll have some smaller embellishments like these buttons. Okay, that rub-on I don't need. The dog I don't need. The cloud I don't need. The airplane I don't need. So let's see. Camera I've got. Hedgehog I've got. Rainbow I've got. I think I'm not going to go through checking things. I'm going to leave these points. I do need a diamond shape, and I'm going to fake a diamond shape by using 2 triangles. And these are photo corners, but I'm going to try to make them work just as shapes. So I'm going to take another photo corner. These were also sent to me by Gwen Towell in her last purple shipment. I get purple shipments. And I'm going to do this. And I think that's a diamond shape, don't you? I can cover the mistakes on there. I let the photo corner bit overlap, but a couple sequins or enamel dots will fix that up. Let's see, let's pull some enamel dots. So I'm gonna pull there and I've got buttons. Buttons are on the list too. And I have got a tiny purple button. There we go. And it can go in some of these cute things. And I still haven't found, for those of you who are tracking, I still haven't found my little triangular tray. I'm gonna have to break down and see if I can get another 1 or 2. Before I do the sequins, let me get the button on. I completely cleaned my glue nozzles, and in doing so, there may be some water left behind. And that, let's see, what color do I need here? Let's go with a pink. Or let's go with an orange. Come on. I don't like it evenly spaced like that. There, that's better. That makes me happier. Okay, and I have this one more piece of bling that I'm going to put up here by the camera. And I will do 2 enamel dots there. And now I'm going to just do sequins around. I'll do a series of them kind of hugging this guy so that we kind of cover up the bad stamping. Bad stamping. Let me pull this out. This is another fun one that just makes me all kinds of happy. It's a story I'm happy to be telling, and it's a fun page with lots of you know, exercising of dies that I haven't used in a while, and punches and other fun things. Okay, so there's that bunch of sequins. I'm probably going to put a few down here. Five in a row there, and then we'll call it done. And I may or may not go check the list. As I'm counting points, sometimes I see ones that are just an easy reach to add, and I'll do those. And I may or may not have any of those if I look at it and say, oh, I didn't have such and such, and oh, by the way, I don't feel like making or finding or hunting for or cutting one of those, then I may not do it. It'll be what it is. And I was mentioning to Scrappy Adam earlier today that I hardly ever film my Calvinball layouts. I usually just crank through them pretty quickly, you know, getting points. And when I do, it goes much faster. And this year, doing 30 days of sketches, I end up doing a Calvinball layout every day because I follow the 30 days sketch. I'm not going to do a sketch layout without also doing Calvinball. And by the time I'm done with that, you know, life gets in the way and I have a few other things going on, and I end up, that ends up being my only page. So if I don't get 8,000 points on that page, then I'm really kind of out of the game. And as it is now, I'm dropping in the standings rather rapidly. What I'm trying to do here is prop this side up so that it's even with the side that has to go over that Mickey head. So that's all that was. So I like this page. I actually do like this page. I'm going to doodle again, like around these, or do I need to do that? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Kind of just to give them a little bit of a border. And I like doodling. I know most people don't understand why I do it this way after the embellishing is done. I like leaving the spaces for embellishing, which kind of say the embellishing was the important part. I don't know if it makes much sense there, but it's kind of saying I didn't put that paper clip on at the last minute. I put it on before I did this journaling. And I've got this guy down here that needs a couple things. The diamond here, I promised I was going to do a little bit of embellishing there. So let me do that to kind of cover up the area that it doesn't cover it up, it actually goes all around it and emphasizes it. So go figure. I'm okay with that. And I'm gonna do one right there because that does cover it up. That will cover it up. There. And there's a tiny, tiny little one from that mix that I'm gonna have trouble picking up, but I'm gonna try. And I'm gonna put it right. Oh, that's a little bit too much glue. Let me see what I can do about that. Oh well, not going anywhere. Okay, so that's my diamond shape. And there we go. There's my page. Thank you for watching. I will add some handwriting here. Actually, I was going to do it there, but I'm going to say October of 2010. And it was the 9th. Her birthday is the 10th. We were having the party on the 9th because I think she had school on the 10th. So anyway, that should work. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed and taken the time to comment and like my videos. I wouldn't be in this whole world if it weren't for you, and I'm so happy to be part of this community. And thanks to Christy for gathering together all the amazing sketch artists and putting them out there on 30 days for our inspiration. And thank you to Shannon for being my partner in crime and kind of helping me get my video career off to a start. And thank you to Punched Out Thursdays for welcoming me into their group and for giving me the inspiration to use dies and punches that too often go unused. So huge thanks to everyone. Let me bring this up for a close-up in case, whoops, there's something unwanted sticking there. So I appreciate it. Bye.